Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back this week with a new video. It has been quite a while since you've seen me. I'm sorry about my radio silence. I have been quite ill the last few weeks. It's very boring, but I had lots of different things and I completely lost my voice for 2 weeks. So I couldn't do any videos. So this is my first one, and I think in nearly a month now. So yeah, it feels good to be back. And yeah, apologies that there's been nothing, because honestly my voice sounded so hilarious, you wouldn't have been able to hear me. So, new sewing pattern releases for June. I can't believe we're in July already. Where is this year going? And there are some really lovely summer fantastic patterns this month, so I'm quite excited to talk to you about them. I will pop a link down below to a blog post with all of the pattern releases for the month, but I have selected 2, 4, 6, 7 of my favourite to talk you through. Before we get going, I am wearing today the Charlie Caftan from Closet Case Files. Literally the best pattern ever for this heatwave. Anyone outside the UK, the British summer, we don't usually get one, and we're in a heat wave, which is hilarious because everyone loves to talk about the weather, and as I am doing right now. And yeah, so this is so nice and light and breezy to wear. I would highly recommend whipping one up. I think I'm definitely going to make another one. So anyway, right, let's get going. I am also quite full of hay fever at the moment, so I'm sorry if I have weepy eyes, so occasionally I might look like I'm not crying, I'm just wiping away a glistening hay fever tear. Right, so first pattern to talk to you about is the Sarin Dress from Tilly and the Buttons. So this was released the end of last week. She released 2 patterns actually. So she released a Stiva pattern, which is quite a simple shift shape, and the Sarin Dress, which I think that's how you say it, which I'm going to talk to you about because I think this one is really beautiful. I will also pop a picture because Rachel has just made one this weekend which looked amazing. She found this like beautiful border print viscose, so I will pop a link, I'll pop a picture in so you can have a look at her wearing it. So this dress is really, it's got some really nice features to it. So it's quite simple in terms of construction. It's a fitted bodice with bust darts. It's straight across the sort of chest, and then it's a sort of A-line shape. It's got quite a lot of buttons. I think it's got, I mean, I'm not going to count them, but like sort of 15, 16 buttons. So you need to feel happy doing the buttonholes. That's probably the only tricky bit. So the dress comes with 3 options. The first option is just a straight up, quite simple, the dress I sort of described. The next option comes with a ruffle on the bust, which I thought was really lovely and perfect for like floating around in. And also I think that one probably is the most smart, could be the most smart one. So if you're going to a wedding or like a summer event, this one I feel like would be perfect for that. The third one, which I thought was really cute, has got this little sort of, it's a kind of a tie at the waist, but the tie, it's like attached into the waist seam, and then there's obviously the pattern piece must have these 2 extra bits that you then tie. So I thought that was really cute because it will show kind of a slither of flesh, but not sort of too much. So it's sort of the grown-up way of having a little like tie on something. I just think this is really great. Sizing, so everyone, I've had a few comments where people said it'd be really nice if I mentioned the size banding, so I'm going to try and do that at the start of each one, which I've done really well because I've completely forgotten with this one. So UK size 6 to UK size 20 for this pattern. Yeah, I'm digging it basically. I really like it. So my next one I'm going to move on to is one that a lot of people were swooning over. It's called the Ulysses Trenchcoat from Victory Patterns. This came out middle of last month. It's freaking amazing. I love it. I haven't seen a pattern like this for so long that I just was like, oh my god, I want to make it. So in terms of the sort of details of the coat, Unfortunately there isn't a line drawing of this, so this is slightly trickier, so I'm just going off the photos. So it's got really lovely details. It's a sort of a duster coat with trench coat detailing, I would say. So it's a relaxed fit. It's screaming out for a drapey fabric. I think it has to have a drape because of the well, some of the features. I think it just would work better. It's got really big patch pockets on the side. I think the key feature, which is the one that everyone was going mad for, is it's got this really beautiful storm flap on the back that's obviously she slashed into, so it's kind of drapey, and it then comes down at the sides and forms the belt loop for your belt. So it's got some really lovely, interesting details. But actually I don't think it would be too hard to do. So if you're feeling like you want to sort of up your game a little bit and you haven't done a coat before, I think you could totally do this because it's not lined, and I think you'll learn some skills while doing it. I really think this is fantastic. So the front of the coat is quite relaxed. It's hard to tell, but I think she must have put some ruffles up here to get some of the fullness down the front. But yeah, I just think it's really beautiful. I am digging it. So I probably should get on and make it. Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely drapey fabric, a crepe, a coupe pro. I think you could probably do it in a linen actually. It would give it a different look, but I think it would work in a linen. So while we've got summer days, everyone, let's get on and make this one. Right, my next one is, oh, I should have tested saying this out loud. A Stiva. I'm going with a Stiva. This is the Stiva sleeveless vest from Wearology. Wearology is a Swiss pattern company, pretty new to the market. I think she's got 3 patterns. I thought this was really interesting kind of garment. Yeah, it just interested me. As soon as I saw this shape, I was like, I really like it. So it's a kind of a sleeveless vest. It comes with 2 options. So there's a cropped version, so it would look great over vest tops, yeah, with a pair of shorts. It could just dress up an outfit that was really casual. But there's also a longer version, and I know probably last year in the shops there were a lot of sleeveless trench coats and sleeveless jackets, and I thought we didn't really have that in this home sewing market as a pattern, and I thought this really tapped into that. So it's almost like a sleeveless coat, perfect for this time of year. The construction details, it's gathered around the waistband, it's got this kind of long, quite dramatic tie at the front, a little like, I think it's, yeah, so you can have a little mandarin collar if you wanted, or you can have it just literally cut sort of flat. I just think it's really interesting, and I think it would look great over loads of things. If you've got like a summer dress, it would look amazing over. If you're wearing like wide leg crop trousers, this would look cool over. I just thought it was really interesting, and I really like their aesthetic. It's quite nice to see something like that you haven't seen in the world of sewing before. So yeah, you should definitely go and check out the other patterns if you haven't yet. Next up is the Fiona sundress from Closet Case Files. I was really excited to see this. So she always names her patterns after people that inspire her within the sewing industry, and this time it's named after Fiona Parker, which is Diary of a Chain Stitcher. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, she would totally wear this dress. It's perfect for her. So this is actually, now I'm looking at the line drawings, quite similar to the Sarin Dress from Tilly and the Buttons. Lots of buttons. You're going to have to get nifty with your buttonholer. Quite simple again in terms of construction. It's just making sure that the sort of fit is good on it. So it's got princess seams down on the bust part. it's got a sort of band that goes around the top of the dress. This is really a really good idea because I've had a lot of dresses that are this cut and that I've sewn, and after a while, because there's so much pressure here, it actually stretches out and you end up with like kind of a baggy bit. So having that band around the top is a really good idea because it will hold the fabric and stop it from stretching. It's got little slits in the side, and yeah, just a nice simple construction. There are two options in terms of the pattern. So you can do sort of I'll show you the back. So you can either have it where it's cut straight across the back, or you can have it where it dips at the back and you can go for a sort of crossover detail with the strapping. So I think it's a really lovely pattern. The other fantastic thing it has is really nice big pockets, which we all love in a dress. It actually looks a little bit like if you hybrided the Lander pants with a dress, you'd get this, because I think those big pockets are quite similar to the Landers. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. This is awful. I've just itchy nose. Any of you who are suffering with hay fever, I'm feeling your pain at the moment. Yeah, so it comes, it comes in a size UK 4 to UK 24. I realised that I didn't say what size the, I think I've actually missed the sizing off the last two, which was not very good. Anyway, I'll put sizing in. I'll put sizing down below so you've got it. Yeah, I just think it's a great one and I love her patterns. So next up we have got the Mayfair dress from Nina Lee London. This I thought was a really fantastic sundress. Sorry, I've just got my laptop here so I can pull up the line drawing just to make sure I'm saying the right things. So this definitely has a real like 1940s feel to it. It's jersey pattern, which is fantastic because who doesn't love stretchy stuff at this time of the year. So the details of the dress are, it's got sort of gathering in the collar which comes down over the front of the bust. There's gathering around the centre front as well. It looks like I think there's a waist seam so you can hold the gathers in. And the gathering around here means that you've got, especially if you've got a larger bust, this is going to be perfect for you because there's lots of excess there to go over your boobs. You can make it in two different lengths as well, so you can have a maxi version which is to the floor, or you can have a sort of shorter knee length version. And I think this would be a really fantastic dress for if you work in an office, because it'll be kind of loose and relaxed fit and you'll feel cool in it, but it also looks quite smart. So I thought this was a really fantastic one, and definitely one that you could whip up in not too long. So yeah, I'm digging this dress. The next one I have got is the Felicio pinafore dress from Tessuti Fabrics. I picked this dress, it's quite funny because obviously Tessuti is Australian based, and being in the UK they are literally on polar opposites to us, so they're producing all their winter patterns now, which I find hilarious because basically we could wear all their winter patterns in our British summer. And I thought this was a really nice simple pattern. If you're looking for a simple summer dress that can transition through to winter, this is the one for you. So it's got a simple kind of shift top with a bust dart and then a very simple gathered waist. I really like Tessuti Fabrics. They always get the proportions really, like kind of, the proportions of their patterns are really good and it makes them really modern. So the waistline is ever so slightly lower. I mean, I'm looking at it now, but I think it's quite a lot of the patterns, they go on your high waist rather than your lower waist. The Tessuti line has picked the lower waist and then had got a gathered skirt, which I think at the moment it gives it more of a modern look. It has that sort of 90s feel. It's got pockets. It's going to be great. So they've styled it with, there's a couple of pictures, some with it just sleeveless, but the one I really like with the turtleneck underneath, and I was like, that's perfect. If you make the dress now, you can be wearing it in September and October with a turtleneck underneath. So yeah, I thought it was a really nice sort of summer dress. I'm digging it. So last but not least, sorry, I've sped up a little bit because I've just seen I've been yabbering on for ages. So last but very much not least is the Abbey jumpsuit from Smiley Patterns. So Smiley Patterns is an online magazine started by a couple of girls in the sewing community. They release a pattern with their magazine, and each pattern is inspired by someone in the sewing industry. And this one is called Abbey, so it's after Abbey, who is also known as the crafty pinup, who makes amazing things, and if you haven't seen her, go and have a look. And this is a wrap over jersey jumpsuit. I really like this. I think it looks great on her, and I think it could be a really nice pattern. So this goes from a UK 4 to a UK 28, so quite a big size range actually. And in terms of that, again, there isn't a line drawing for it, but it's, yeah, so it's got a crossover detail here. It's got pockets in the side seam. I can see that they have a couple of little pleats to the side of the waist, which is good for anyone who has got bigger hips, bigger bottoms or bigger tummies. We always need a little bit extra around there. And it comes with an optional tie on the waist as well, so you can put that detail in, which Abbey has done in her version. And I thought it was a really nice pattern, and I really like seeing kind of, I think the Smiley online magazine is really cute, and it's nice to see like a new venture starting. So Smiley stands for Sewing Makes You Love Yourself. Love yourself. I think that's right. But yeah, go and check out their magazine because it's well worth having a look at. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you and go and scratch my eyes, and I will be back soon with another video. Thanks, bye.